5 minutes to prevent dozens of field shoot mishaps.
Why photography begins with the feet.
The most common difference between student stories and professional ones.
Autofocus, in or out.
And what the professionals see.
You might call this a primer for the craft.
Affordable yet sophisticated technology in video cameras like these has made it possible for the average person on the street to capture newsworthy events and have them broadcast worldwide. But there's more to it than just pointing your camera and hitting record. Hi, I'm Sam Burgum.
And I'm John Marcus. As with any craft, the art of photography requires discipline in order to prevent making mistakes. This will also allow you to think creatively.
It all starts with preparation and a 5-minute preventative troubleshooting process.
Once in the field, the first question is where to put the camera, what to look for and what to avoid in choosing a suitable point of view.
Then, a few techniques to guide you in composing the perfect image.
The automatic features on your camera can be useful tools, but only if you know why, when, and how to use them to avoid relying on them too much.
Students often don't realize the effectiveness of audio. Professionals depend on it.
Crucial steps to take once the footage has started to roll.
And the secret to shooting effective B-roll.
All right, let's begin with the preparation process. Interviews with no audio, half-charged batteries, and shaky video are just a few of the problems you might face while you're out in the field. But you can prevent most of these problems just by checking your equipment before you go out.
Begin by going through the equipment list to make sure all the pieces are there and in working order. A good tip is to always carry extra SD cards.
Check each battery you're taking to make sure they're all fully charged.
Power up the camera and record a few minutes. Check the zoom, focus, and iris on near and far objects in different lighting conditions.
Test the onboard microphone as well as any others you will be using. Remember that wireless and lavalier mics use their own batteries, so check them with the battery tester and take some spares with you.
Review the footage you shot in the camera's playback mode, paying close attention to the audio from the various microphones.
It's easy to switch to playback mode. To review the footage in the camera, play back the captured footage in the viewfinder and listen to the audio with headphones. Don't forget to switch back to camera mode once you're finished.
Some DSLR cameras, like these Canon Rebels, do not have a headphone jack for audio monitoring. Do a test recording with the microphone, then check the audio during playback using the camera's speaker.
Using a tripod during your test taping will help you in two ways. First, you're going to want to make sure that your tripod is level and stable. And you'll also be checking to make sure that the mounting on the quick release plate on the tripod matches the one on the camera. Each tripod model uses its own type of a quick release plate, and without the right one, the camera can't attach to the tripod.
During this preventative check, you're watching for faulty equipment, but you might also catch some altered settings from the last time the camera was used. If the video looks too dark, the colors are off, or if there are any problems with the audio, have a technician look over the equipment.
Everything about your workday is about routines. Lots of folks typically believe a photographer's life is jump in their vehicle, they have a camera, they have a tripod, they have their gear, they drive away, they get on TV. Not that simple. Preparation has nothing to do with photography, but I guess I suppose it does. You got to make sure you got enough batteries. In this instance, we carry 4. They all look charged. You got to check the camera. Does everything work? Of course, we have a lock to make sure if it gets broken into, they can't take the camera. Obvious things. The battery looks like it's fully charged. Fire up the camera. Make sure I can get an image. You don't get an image when you don't take the lens cap off. Image looks good. In this case, there used to be a time when you had to make sure you had film, had to make sure you had videotape. Not today. Today, you got to make sure you have high capacity SD cards. I have two. They're both 32 gig. 32 gig, it's about an hour plus of high definition 1080 60i video. Of course, I checked the sound. I was looking at my VU meters. I'll turn that on for you. Check, 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 and look at that. I didn't have sound on my shotgun. If I didn't check and I was rolling out in the field, I'd have no sound. So, having said that, that's just my shotgun right off the camera. Of course, I will want to check my wireless microphone, and the batteries for the wireless microphone, just as important. 2468, who do we appreciate? And that seems to work. And this is actually reminds me that part of the preparation is the goodie bag. I carry a backpack. It has extra batteries. It has, of course, a pen and a notepad just in case, but who needs that when you have a cell phone? Extra cables, because if your wireless microphone happens to fail on you, you want to go hardline. If you don't prepare the tools of your trade, you're not going to be too successful. If you do make sure everything's working and in good working order, you're going to be highly successful because you're not spending time putting all your things together, making sure you have everything. You need to have all of that ready by the time you put the keys in the ignition.